You know the old saying, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree? Well, it rings especially true when it comes to Angel Reese and her mom. Normally, I steer clear of going after athletes' parents unless they step into the spotlight themselves. And in this case, Mama Reese has definitely joined the storyline. After Caitlin Clark lit up the screen and crushed TV ratings like she was dunking on the Nielsen charts, Angel Reese's mom didn't hold back. No, it wasn't about a questionable foul or a tough loss. Instead, she launched into a full-court press on social media. And let's just say, it didn't exactly resemble a post-game handshake. So what are we witnessing here? Competitive passion? Sportsmanship gone sideways? Or just some good old-fashioned pettiness dressed up in sequins and side eyes? Buckle up, because when your daughter's biggest rival becomes the face of college basketball, things can get heated, and fast. Let's unpack this courtside drama like never before.
Oh my goodness! This news will probably leave Angel Reese's mom in shambles at this point. Of course, she's upset.
Angel Reese's mom was not having it, and by not having it, we mean she went full Olympic-level mental gymnastics trying to argue that her daughter was clearly the queen of TV ratings, despite the cold, hard Nielsen numbers showing Caitlin Clark casually dunking on viewership records like she was exacting revenge for every misspelled Starbucks cup. Draped in LSU gear and allegedly clutching a "my daughter is better than yours" tote bag, Mama Reese seemed ready to speak to whoever's in charge of televised sports, or maybe even the universe itself. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark packed nearly 15,000 fans into a sold-out Carver Hawkeye Arena, turning a preseason game into a must-watch event. And what did Angel Reese's mom tweet in response? This gem. That certain fan base looking in the stands celebrating attendance while others are looking up in the rafters celebrating championship banners. We ain't the same. Different year, same haters. Have a great day. Isn't that exactly the kind of energy you're criticizing? If you're living rent-free in Caitlin Clark's mentions while accusing others of being obsessed, maybe it's time to check the mirror. This is what we mean when we say insecurity is loud. Confidence is quiet. Because let's be real, if Angel Reese's preseason game didn't pull the ratings, it wasn't due to some deep state, Illuminati-level plot against Baton Rouge royalty. America just collectively shrugged and said, "Wait, LSU's playing who again?" before flipping the channel to watch Caitlin Clark torch defenders and force entire coaching staffs into existential crises. It's the difference between a sparkler and the 4th of July finale. And while Mama Reese was out here storming social media like she was launching a revolution, the crowd had already moved on to watch Clark rain down threes from distances that probably require FAA clearance. Let's be honest, the court drama's fun, but the scoreboard and the screen time speak for themselves.
She made a couple of comments a couple of days ago about people literally covering statistical data involving attendance. That's a problem. That's hate. We aren't the same. Okay, I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
If we were handing out participation trophies for preseason hype, Angel Reese would have needed a second trophy case just for October. ESPN could have aired her warm-up stretches on a jumbotron in Times Square, and her mom still would have claimed Caitlin Clark sabotaged the lighting. There's delusion. And then there's, how dare you not worship my daughter after she airballed 4 straight jumpers energy? Guess which one we're dealing with here? Did Caitlin Clark say anything about Angel Reese's mom? No, not a word. She's out here focused on her game, not engaging in off-court theatrics. Meanwhile, Mama Reese is busy subposting like it's high school homeroom. You'd think the job of a parent is to support your child, cheer them on, and hope they thrive in the league, not to pick fights with their rivals' fan bases and try to manufacture drama where none exists. You don't see Caitlin Clark asking, "Why's Angel Reese at the Met Gala?" Because she's busy, playing basketball. Frankly, the whole thing reeks of unnecessary pettiness. And when a grown woman starts beefing with a 22-year-old superstar who hasn't even acknowledged her existence, it starts to become pretty clear. The apple didn't fall far from the drama tree. Now let's rewind to the preseason game in question, a game so underwhelming that even the popcorn vendors were fighting off sleep between quarters. The stands were mostly filled with family, a few diehard fans, and one confused guy who thought he'd walked into a G League Tri-8. The vibe? So flat you could have balanced a water bottle on the court and accidentally launched a TikTok challenge. But don't tell that to Angel Reese's mom. To her, this wasn't just a game. This was the Super Bowl, the Oscars, and Beyoncé's Renaissance tour rolled into one. And how dare America not treat it like a national holiday?
This was a pre-season WNBA game. Do you understand what I mean? A pre-season WNBA game. By the way, why the hell is the Paige Beckers and Angel Reese ratings from Ion Network Friday, why are they MIA right now?
In Reese's world, a magical realm where every missed layup is just misunderstood greatness and fumbles get standing ovations, there's no such thing as disappointing ratings. Only narratives that weren't appreciated by the masses. So when the actual numbers came in and it turned out Antiques Roadshow reruns were pulling better viewership, Angel Reese's mom strapped on her metaphorical cape and dove headfirst into damage control. And by damage control, we mean cryptic Instagram stories, subtweet shade, and inspirational quotes so passive-aggressive they could have been printed on sequined throw pillows. Real queens don't need ratings to prove their worth, she declared. Adorable sentiment. If Caitlin Clark hadn't just incinerated every broadcast metric like she was trying out for House Targaryen. She's not just playing basketball. She's performing sorcery. The only thing missing is a wand and a Hogwarts letter. Meanwhile, Angel Reese was out here redefining mid, and her mom had theories. Oh yes, plenty of theories. It couldn't be that Clark is simply an elite talent lighting up arenas and timelines with every Logo 3. No, clearly, something was rigged. Maybe the cameras were blurry during Reese's game. Maybe Mercury was in retrograde, Venus ghosted Mars, and LSU's uniforms weren't aligned with the chakra grid. Perhaps the moon itself had beef with Baton Rouge. Because it definitely couldn't be viewer preference. That's far too logical. And let's just pause, really pause, to appreciate the absurdity of a full-blown social media meltdown over preseason ratings. Not a championship, not a playoff, preseason. That's like expecting your nephew's lemonade stand to outgrow Starbucks because he used organic lemons, and then accusing Big Lemon of sabotage when it doesn't. Consider this. Clark's exhibition game, yes, exhibition, drew 1.3 million viewers. She checked out before the fourth quarter, and the Fever were up by nearly 60. Still, fans tuned in like it was the NBA Finals. Clark didn't just win the ratings war. She dropped a MIC on the battlefield, painted her initials in the ashes, and turned the whole thing into a viral TikTok montage. Meanwhile, Reese's camp was still trying to convince us that preseason silence equals strategic mystique. The real kicker? Caitlin Clark said nothing. Not a dig. Not a subtweet. Nothing about Reese's mom. She's focused on playing ball, making shots, and racking up WS. Meanwhile, Mama Reese was busy lobbing glitter-coated grenades from her social media bunker like a one-woman PR firm for team vibes. And honestly, now we get it. Why is Angel Reese like this? Because this is the blueprint. The pettiness. The insecurity. The need to spin every slight into a conspiracy. It's not basketball, it's brand management via chaos. Remember that preseason game? The one so lifeless even the popcorn machine tapped out by halftime? The crowd was mostly family, a few loyal friends, and one guy who probably thought he wandered into a community college scrimmage. But to Reese's mom, that was the Super Bowl, the Met Gala, and Beyoncé's World Tour all rolled into one. And how dare the world not treat it accordingly? But here's the truth. The scoreboard doesn't lie. And neither do the Nielsen ratings. Caitlin Clark is packing arenas, shifting broadcast schedules, and casually redefining the sport on national TV. Angel Reese is trending because her mom's mad online. That's not a rivalry, it's a canyon. Clark is the moment, and Reese's camp is still clinging to one national title from 2 years ago like it's a Hallmark ornament. Let's be real, Angel Reese is a solid player with undeniable charisma. But when the PR machine hypes up every jog to the scorer's table like a TED Talk on empowerment and the performance doesn't match, people start asking questions. Especially when the supposed coronation draws fewer viewers than a cooking show rerun. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark? She plays. People watch. She scores from 30 feet out like she's got GPS guidance. No spin. No subplots. Just basketball. And while Reese stayed mostly quiet during this whole ratings saga, credit where it's due, her mom made so much noise she practically drowned out the broadcast. Maybe she should have suited up. She was the only one truly ready to compete. At some point, you just have to laugh at the wild effort it takes to spin a low-energy preseason game into a tale of systemic persecution. It's not a vendetta. It's not a conspiracy. It's just the cold, boring, undeniable truth. Sometimes, someone else is the moment. You can throw all the hashtags, cryptic quotes, and digital temper tantrums you want at the wall, but it won't change the scoreboard. And it certainly won't change the fact that Clark is already lapping the league, not just in talent, but in how she commands the spotlight without even trying. No PR team, no drama, no ego, just buckets.